Right, guys. Um, I'm most of the way through the third day of fasting on the 5th of July. So the results are in for the UK uh, elections. Now, do I think it'll make any difference to the UK's downward spiral? No, not really, because I don't really think a lot of it's political. I think a lot of it's it's already underway. The I think the main problems that the UK have got is the political correctness, the probably the immigration, and printing money, and this climate stuff. They're the main things. And will they change now? Probably not. So, I mean, we get people cheering. What cheering? Keir Starmer. He's a WEF guy, and quite openly so. So just look up the World Economic Forum and Keir Starmer, and then you'll know who you're cheering for. But I don't think it's going to make any difference to the UK really, one way or the other. But it might get worse. There's every chance, because he's a globalist, Keir Starmer. So we'll see how it all goes, how it pans out. I never have huge kind of expectations of any government changes and like that, and I've never voted because I don't think the real people, especially at this government level, the national government level, I don't mind local governments, and like you have some quite good, well-run towns actually in Bulgaria, and it's done at a local level. If you get a good mayor and a good Obstina, which is the local council, it's more like a cross between a government and council. But if you get a good, quite well-run town, which ours is coming on leaps and bounds, seemingly in the last 5 years or so, it's kind of really turning a corner. But so I'm not against local administration, anything like that, or like I'm not an activist or kind of anarchist or anything like that. But like at the national level, they're mainly all the same, and they're not real people, and they're not real leaders. If you look at them, they're not there to lead or anything like that. Like Sunak, I don't even know why he's there, because of his background and his aspirations and stuff. Or Starmer, he's got no real. There's no real leadership or inspiration there. I think that's one of the things you should have if you are in at that position. At least you should have a little bit of sort of inspiration, even though you're telling lies. You can still tell good lies in an inspirational way. But anyway, so we're in day 3, the third fasting day. It's day 5, but we're going to start ticking them off now. As I kind of look forward to. I look forward to getting over the 8 and 9, 10. Once you get over 10 fasting days, You cracked it, really. Um, so I'm not struggling as much today. I'm doing okay today, as in marking time and clock watching. I've got that. I've got over that now. I've got to just. You've just got to go with it, and don't clock watch and don't try and wish the hours away before you go to bed and eat. Just go with it. And I actually went to Lidl a couple of hours ago, and it's a little bit of not bad news, but it's not great news on the money challenge, because I've gone over the €5 a day. I've gone over it. Well, I can pull it back easy enough, but like in Lidl, there's only certain things I can get there, and I had to go to get some xylitol because I can't get it anywhere else. So I kind of had to go in for that, and I thought, like, while I'm there, I've usually got a load of British bacon in the freezer, and I haven't been kind of stocking it up because I thought I had tons and tons of it, which I did, but I eat it quite regularly. So I bought some of that, which isn't cheap, and I bought some drinks, and I bought what else did I get? Oh, some eggs, because all my eggs have gone as well. Because I actually forgot. Like last night, I had a 4-egg omelette. Last thing, because I needed to boost up the protein, and I had cheese on toast, and I did it purposely, so it was last thing at night. So it was like it kind of staves off the hunger longer. Protein, I find, even on normal fasting days, intermittent fasting. If you have plenty of protein with your meals, you can last longer the next day. So I'm not struggling today, and I'm not hungry. So that's good news. And the other great news is I had a visit yesterday of our road trip manager. I call him the road trip manager because just to have a little bit of fun with him. But we're all a team really, and and he came round, and he was like angling for a road trip, and I said to him, I can't do it this month because I've got things to do. I didn't mention the fasting in that because he doesn't really go along with any of that, and even the intermittent fasting. He kind of tries to trick me when we're on the road trips. He kind of tries to trick me into having breakfast every day, and every day I tell him straight, just you get on with your breakfast, and I'll do my thing. And if I want breakfast, I'll have some, and sometimes I do on the road trips and that. And so it's brilliant. So we've made a date, an actual date, and we're going on the 1st of August. So what a thing to look forward to. That's like a kind of milestone, and it'll kind of spur me on now to do the challenge, because I said to him I can't go because I'm doing something else. He just said yeah anyway. I said I'm busy this month, I can't do it. And he said yeah, okay. I said, well, I can go on the 1st of August because he's got to go for a checkup on the 15th. So that gives us a 15-day window. Right, so we've he said, have you got any ideas, like anywhere you want to go? I said, yeah. I want to go to Zlatibor, which is it's in the kind of northwest of Serbia, and it's got this gondola ride, and it's the longest. It's called the Gold Ride. gondola, and it's like a ski resort. There's Latibor, although we're going in August, there won't be any snow there now. But I kind of fancied it for a while, so I thought, like, well, I said, yeah, it's Latibor, and then we can go across to the north of Albania, a place called Shodra, or whatever they call it, Shodra. It's right on the border with Montenegro, and we'll go through Montenegro, which I've been before. Once I've been through, and I stayed actually for 2 days in Montenegro. I was kind of looking at some property, and I never even got to look at any because this estate agent, although I booked it on the internet ages before, it was just English people there. I think they were just chances. But I said, well, I've booked some viewings, you know. And I went to the office, and they were just messing me about, and they said they'd be back later and all that. I said, I booked this weeks ago on the internet, so I said, right, I'll come back. But I never went back, so to waste their time. That's the type of thing I do. If someone lets you down, just renegotiate the time and then don't go. And then I went to Budvar, and I tried to see some property there, but I gave up in the end. I couldn't be bothered, and I had a good look. Budvar's great. That's the picture they always show on the tourist stuff for the Montenegro. It's got the island just off the beach. Well, it's not a beach, all mostly pebbles there, and on the Adriatic. So I stayed there, and like I was going to look at some property, and I just thought, let's get out of here, get out of Dodge, and go to Bulgaria. And I drove all the way to Bulgaria from Budvar in the same day, it's a bit of a hike. It's about maybe 600 kilometers, something like that. But maybe more. But I did it anyway in a day. But I was in a good car. I was in the Volvo cross country luxury car, and it was great. And I've been on the road then. I was kind of having a little bit of a look at Croatia, and in the end I just thought, like, well, let's get out of here, let's get to Bulgaria, you know. So then we'll go to Albania, and there's some good mountains up the north with the border between Montenegro, Albania, and Kosovo and Albania. And then we'll head south then and go back across again through North Macedonia. And there's a national park there where we can go across just north of Ohrid, and then we'll head back for Bulgaria then. So that's a great thing to look forward to now. And I'll start researching now on all the things. Well, I already have done today. Started researching. I put the route in, and then you can click on things to do on Google Maps, and it gives you things to do all along the route. So it's fantastic. It's a fantastic feature on Google Maps. I'm a big fan of Google Maps. I like it. And then I'll start tomorrow. I'll have a look at Booking.com then, and pencil in a few things. I think we can get to Zlatibor in a day. It's about 500 kilometers, which isn't a lot for the first day. It's not too bad if you want to get to somewhere. And then I'll try and persuade them to have 2 nights stay there, because there's things to see around Zlatibor. Actually, they've got some gorges and caves and stuff, and so we can have a look around there, and then head in. Then it's about 300 kilometers from Zlatibor to the coast of Montenegro, and there's a few detours we can do there as well. There's a fantastic gorge where they actually do gorge rip. What did he call it? Where you actually walk up the river. Canyoning. That's what they do. We won't be doing that. I would have done when I was younger. In fact, I used to do a bit of that. Canyoning in little rivers in Wales. Fantastic. You just follow the river down to wherever you want to head for, you know. It was good. Just streams basically there. But it's good fun. I do a little bit of river walking here, but not canyoning. Just the rivers are very shallow, you know, where I go, and I take the dog, and she loves it now. At first she didn't like it, but now she absolutely loves it, and she tries to stay on dry land. And she loves jumping along the rocks and that, you know. But and she will go in the water now. She didn't at first, but now there was no other way. So she got a little bit by bit. She got into it, you know. She doesn't mind it now. I think she likes it. And I didn't do much of that last year. Actually, I'll have to do a bit of that this year. I think I went twice or three times, you know. But so that's a great thing to look forward to. And it's a good road trip. It's basically a loop from Bulgaria through Serbia, and it's just a loop around Kosovo, right round the outside, and it's taking in, you know, 4 countries, including Bulgaria, and we'll try and do I think 10 days. I think. And I'm going to really try and persuade them to have 2 nights. Because the main thing, you know, I don't mind all the driving. That's not the issue. It's just getting there, getting everything out of the car, and then packing up. And you don't the actual town where you stay, because we've been on the road all day. By the time we get organised in the digs, we don't see much of the town. And then in the morning we're off because everyone's up early in our gang, and we're off, and we don't see these towns, but you know they're worth looking at. Some of the ones we go to, you know, like a good example of that was Brasov last year. I mean, we went to a place called Bran and all that, with Dracula's cave, Dracula's castle and all that. Dracula. Now, Dracula's castle, they've got a Bank of Transylvania. I wanted to open an account there. Imagine that. You've got your debit card, Bank of Transylvania. So we went to that place, and we had a couple of hours there, and by the time we got to Brasov, it was a bit it was getting on a bit, and it was quite hard to park by the place where we were going, and then it was hard to get in the place, get in contact with the owner. We wasted an hour, maybe an hour and a half, just parking up and getting in the place, you know. But I think one of the neighbours actually called her in the end, because we didn't get the number. And if you haven't got the internet, you can't get back onto Booking.com, which was one thing we learned then, and that's a good tip for anyone if you're going anywhere, and you haven't got internet, or you might not be able to get a signal or something. Always take the phone number from the or take a screenshot of the booking details, which you'll have the phone number there, and then at least you can call them then, which is, in that case, we didn't do. That was the problem. And they have these codes, and they put keys in boxes. They make it as hard as they can for you to get into place, instead of just like meeting you there, which invariably they have to do. But yeah, so that's a good tip. That always get the phone number, and I always email them as well and say we haven't got the internet. If there's any instructions, send them now, or send them by SMS, and that's it works now. That works quite well for the people who like to make things complicated. Um, so so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And if we can stay 2 nights, that'd be nice. 2 nights in Zlatibor, and then maybe 2 nights in. If we head straight for Budvar, we can then do the Kotor, the fjords, or gorges, whatever they call them. They're like fjords. They're like Norwegian fjords. I've been before, so you can head straight for Budvar, and then you're going back on yourself towards Dubrovnik. So we could stay 2 nights there and do a day trip around the fjords, and then head into Albania then after that. And yeah, so what I was saying is that I don't like the 1 night stays because of all the hassle of getting into the places, and then you've got to leave in the morning, and you're not seeing where you're staying. By the time you get there, which is we usually get there 5 or 6 in the evening. I've been driving all day, so I need a bit of a not a rest, but you have to come down. You have to come down because you're switched on when you're driving, all day. And so I don't see the places where we stay, and in Brasov that was well worth seeing, and I didn't really see it. We did a little bit of a tour by car. I'm trying to find a parking, but that was it was no fun for me. I kept having to go round and round the block. One of them where you're looking for somebody leaving the parking spec, and I had to go round and round the block. So yes, that's why I like 2 night stays. So you can get in there, get all your stuff out of your bag, and I take the laptop, get that set up, and then you can go for the day trip. Then the next day, nice leisurely trip, and which will probably be involved more out of the car than in the car. Head for somewhere where you're gonna have a walk around or whatever. And you see places better. So that's another tip if you're doing road trips. 2 night stays for me are the best, rather than one. And you can head for an area where there's lots around. This is what like Zlatibor's got, We might go up the gondola, the bubble lift, and it's a long way though. It's 12 kilometres I think each way. So that's 24 kilometres. But we might do that. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that'll spur me on now in the challenge for July, because I've got something to look forward to. I don't know why it would spur me on, but like it will, because as we're getting to the end of the challenge, I'm looking forward to a holiday then, which I really want to do, like a road trip. So it'll be fantastic, and it should be a little bit lighter. The cars should do more miles to the gallon because I'll be lighter. So yeah. So this is a fasting day and no eating day, and they're starting to get ticked off. That's 3 in the bag already. And so yeah, the money, yeah, I overspent, I think, in Lidl. I think we're a bit over, but I can pull that back, which I will pull it back, and the other challenge is the internet. That's easy. Just switch the internet and everything off and power until 10 o'clock a.m. That's easy. 8 in the evening till 10 a.m. And I actually did sleep right through till 6 o'clock last night. So that's living proof that the router and all that, and it interferes with your sleep, the resonances, and it's quite rare actually that it'll go the whole night, but it did last night. So that's a good thing, We'll see how we go tonight. Don't usually sleep very well after these fasting days, because you start racing, and because everything gets clearer when you're fasting, Your mind clears up. It doesn't get clouded. It's the opposite of what you think, You start getting sharper, and which a lot of the time I don't need. I've got a very busy mind, and so yeah, lots of things to look forward to, and I'm really looking forward to that road trip, and I will take the camera, and I'll get some footage. I might not I might do little bulletins actually on the way. If we do the 2 night stops, I'll be able to do some footage. But like if they insist on the 1 night stops, I mean, I don't mind. I go with the flow. I'll just be pushing that now. I'll go and they do listen. They do listen sometimes. If I say I really want to stop for 2 nights, and I did say that at the end of the last road trip actually, and he agreed. I said, look, we're not seeing these places. We went to a place called Berat, and we never saw any of it because we were slightly out of town, and we went to this lovely fish restaurant. It was fantastic, but by the time we'd been there, it was bedtime, and then in the morning we're off. We were off to Saranda, and we never saw the old town. And I said, look, we're not seeing these places. And we didn't see much of Saranda, actually, but I made sure I had a good drive around in the morning. I went into, because it's like a dead end. There's only one way into Saranda and one way out. And because it's like a kind of a headland, and there's no easy way out down the coast. You got to go back out the way you came and round this headland, which is a bit of a mountain, and so I did make sure we had a good drive round in the morning, and we saw quite a lot of Saranda by just zigzagging through the town, and so that was good, but like I want to see these places, more of them, when we go. So the 2 night stay, that gives you the time then, because if you can have a short little drive in the morning somewhere, and just say, look, I want to be back here by about 2 o'clock, and we'll go and have a look at this. Where was the town where we are? So we'll have a go at persuading them, the manager. Okay, so it's all to play for. Cheers.